Good evening, everyone. As you come on, please let us know who you are and where you're calling in from. All right, we got some shy ones out there. Let us know who you are and where you're calling in from if you haven't announced yourself, please. This is Charlie Patterson. We're going to get started here in about a minute. Tonight's team call. Quiet group tonight. Jeff, you still there? Good evening. All right, just figured out I had the whole call muted. It was so quiet. You have everyone saying, yeah, we can't hear you. Let us know who's coming on.
Bonnie Kazarian from
San Francisco.
Sam Orlando.
From San Francisco. Reem, California.
Nick Tyler, Orlando. Thank you, Diana, for letting me know it was muted.
Jenny Marie.
Good evening, Jean Marie. Let us know who's coming on. Come on.
Hello.
Africa.
Good evening.
Alana, Portland, Oregon.
Hello, Alana.
Jeff Orr, Salt Lake City.
Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, brother.
Good evening. We got
Hey,
Scott.
Charlie, good evening. Give me 1 second here. I am going to work to...
All right, good evening. Let us know who's coming on.
Hi, Charlie. This is Natalia.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
Hola, Charlie.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien.
Buenas noches.
Muy buenas noches.
All right. Do I have Scotty Kearns on with me?
Yes, you do, Charlie, and having a small technical difficulty in adding Natalia. However, we'll get that cleared here momentarily.
Well, why don't I go ahead and you mute your individual line, Scotty, when I mute the call, and once you get Natalia on, just send me a text. I'm going to have you a little bit further into the call. Oh, my gosh. Good evening, everyone. This is Charlie Patterson calling in from Orlando, Florida, and I have just lost our guest speaker, but I am sure he'll be calling us back here. I'm calling in from my home here with my incredible wife, Christy Hemme, in Orlando, Florida, our home for another 3 days as we're in the midst of packing up and getting ready for our big move north to Nashville. And man, welcome to June 2013, and we are halfway through the year. Can you believe it? It is, well, almost halfway. 5 months down, another month to go, and we are, well, there's my guest speaker. Hold on. Hey, sound check. Scott Kearns?
Check.
All right, check. Natalia?
I'm here.
Check, and double check. Well, cool. Okay, I'm going to be coming back to both of you incredible leaders up there in Toronto after a whirlwind of days. You guys have been in meetings with Casey Council and month end and fast start training workshop and all of that. So we're excited to have you guys. So just you guys hold tight. and we're gonna go through some material here before we start getting into your guys' past few days and really a recap of post general's call from earlier last week. So you guys just hold tight. Okay, well, we are 120 days roughly from the October month of qualification for the Success Trip Hawaii for free, and all of those that are on their way to Ruby to getting to Ruby so that you qualify for that trip. Those of you that hit Ruby and you're sitting somewhere between there and Team Elite, that you actually advance in your pin title and move to the next pin title ahead of yourself so that you qualify for that trip, the big one in Hawaii. And having just been on the Team Elite trip in Hawaii, and man, was it an awesome trip to be over there in Hawaii with the other leaders and just celebrating our hard work over the last year and really getting together and the masterminding that's happening. I am so excited and more energized than I've ever been in 9.5 years of pushing as hard as possible to really reach my personal goals that are directly attached to your goals. And knowing that what I've committed to the company to do with our organization over this next 4 months, 120 days, and really focusing in on qualifying for the success trips, and then the nice bonus of the LTO that'll be a result of all of our hard work over the next 120 days. So, I had a Ruby call this morning, and Stephen Roddy, hosted that call as I landed and got to the airport a little late, and he opened it up and had some great words. And then we went on to talk about really setting the goal for what you're committed to doing and writing the number of presentations down on a mirror in your bathroom, something you look at every single day with a dry erase marker and counting down so that you hit Ruby or you make it to that milestone or whatever the pin title is, you're going to qualify for that trip. And, that was a huge thing for me coming off the general's call that I was able to catch as my plane landed here in Orlando from Boston. And listen to Gary Drew talking to, being the core principles of 15 presentations a month at a minimum, right? And what the importance of that is and really what those presentations are is that's presentations that you do, right, that you do, using the tools and using that to really increase your learning curve of you telling the story, okay, of the business. And, oh, my gosh, I'm looking out on Lake Holden. I'm seeing Arnold the alligator go right across my dock. Isn't that crazy? That's going to go by here pretty quick. Not going to be in Florida much longer to see cool Arnold the alligator on the lake. Okay, so what are you willing to do over the course of the next 4 months to reach your goals? How many presentations, right? If you're core, you're doing at least 15. Well, if you do 15 over the next 4 months, about 60. That's about 60 presentations, right? Well, will that get you to your goal? Well, you know that looking at the learning curve of hitting Ruby, it's 250 presentations, 1 out of 10 spawns, that you're doing a presentation, doing an LOI, and roughly 2 out of 10 becoming customers and setting that intention. And as your learning curve improves, then you're getting higher and higher results with those presentations. Crucial that you go through the learning curve. And what I've always been excited at is that I can say that you will be at that place or better. Many of you on the call that hit Ruby, much faster, in 3 months, 4 months, 8 months, a year, whatever it was. And most of you didn't do the 250 presentations before you hit Ruby, but you still went through the learning curve of that. So it's crucial that you're doing those presentations, telling the story, living the story, right? I was at the Slammiversary up there at the pay-per-view this weekend with my wife and a bunch of other. It was kind of husband's weekend as they had the pay-per-view. All his husband flew in for all the wives that are part of the show. And Kurt Angle, gold medal Olympian, that's a professional wrestler now, up on in the ring, 6,000 people at this event. And Kurt is being recognized and inducted into the Hall of Fame of professional wrestling at this event, and his shirt says, "I bleed wrestling." I bleed wrestling. And we're, oh my gosh, I bleed new skin. You cut me, and I'm going to bleed new skin blue. Why? Because I'm core, and I'm doing the presentations, and I'm getting out there in front of people. So I want to share some of the numbers of commitments. And boy, my team of Ruby on the Ruby call really going to be happy I'm doing this because they did it on the call themselves in their own voices. Then I sent it out on a WhatsApp to everybody on what they committed to. So it's out there. I had Jeff. Jeff said, I'm committed to doing 120 presentations out of Ohio. Penny out of Minnesota, 120. Margaret, Lord Anderson, 120 presentations. Stephen Roddy committed to 125 presentations. Richter, 120. Kelly, 200 up there in Calgary. Nick, here in Orlando, 120. Money Money Magnet, 120. And Sherry, 125. Now, I'm saying that to you. This is, I want to edify them for the commitment that they made and what they're committed to doing, right? And then measuring their success based on what? Not whether they hit Ruby this month or next month, but that they are taking a step forward every single day. That they're measuring their success on whether they're taking action. Is what you're doing right now moving you forward towards your goal or away from it? John Dunn asking for the team call to be back to the basics, and that does not get more to the basics than taking one step at a time, doing what you can control, which is actually getting out there and telling the story. So what's your target? What is your target? Here we are at the beginning of the month, right back at the first step of workflow in goals. What is your target for this month? And how is it aligned with September 30th, the qualification for that success trip, right? How does that set you up for the LTO, which is going to be the payoff, right, in the first induction that we get of ageLOC Gamma, okay? So what is your target? Now, I have made a major commitment, and this is in alignment with conversations that I had Casey Council a couple months ago of really the next evolution in her business, and I know many of you, it's the next step in evolution in your business as well. Jeff and Diana exercising this and traveling, working with their team. Casey bouncing around, working with her team, and throwing some gas on the fire, right? And here I am having a conversation with Casey and Jeff and Diana, Nick Weinecker last month at TEU, and we're talking about, I'm like, man, I got to step up my game. I got to get out there and do exactly what I'm telling others to do. I'm challenging everybody to get out there and do more presentations. I'm challenging everybody to get out there and work with their team. I'm challenging everybody to host their upline. Well, what's that mean? Man, I got to do the same thing myself, right? Because I'm going to see my reflection in you. So if I step it up, then there's a good chance that many of you are going to step it up, right? So maybe you've already received an email from me, and there'll be more promotion on this, but a bunch of us leaders have locked arms. I happen to be the first to commit to, my personal tour calendar here for the Road to ageLOC Gamma tour, okay? And that's something I want you to listen to those words again. Road to ageLOC Gamma tour. Intentionally, right? We want to make sure that we have that ageLOC in front of Gamma every single time that we're using that. If you're using TR90, great. ageLOC TR90, because that's really what these cycles are about. It is about the ageLOC story. I just got a WhatsApp message from Samantha here, the memory maker, and she said, hey, at least these presentations of these individuals committed to those presentations at least. Thank you, Sam. And I think that I'm going to go to that message and see what she said, because I think that she might have actually thrown a number in herself after being at the hospital. Oh, Sam committed 125 presentations over the next 120 days. And Sam, I just want to acknowledge you. That's awesome. So, Road to ageLOC Gamma tour. I'm hitting 11 cities over the next 3 months. All right, the only week that I'm not in a new city is actually no, it's not true. Somehow I'm hitting 11 cities over the period of that time, and I'll probably add another city because my commitment to my wife bought in that she gave me the green light to be on the road for 3 days a week in a different city with you. And 11 different cities over the course of 3 months. So where am I going? I will be in New York City next week on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. I know I've got like 4 different legs that are up there cranking, right? Patricia Fox, this woman's got a team up there. Peta's up there. Rodney's up there. We've got to have a lot of fun. We've got some really, really fun teams. Derek Till's got a team up there going as well. His cousin I'm going to be staying with, and we're going to have a lot of fun over 3 days. Then the next week we're going to go up. I'm going to be in Toronto. I'm going to be in Calgary. I'm going to be in Seattle, in Portland, in Central Oregon. I'm going to be in Utah. I'm going to be in L.A. I'm going to be up there in Ohio and West Virginia. Okay, I'm going to be in Denver. So 11 cities. Going to be in Minnesota, and really, really excited about this. So what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to be on the road and on the ground in the trenches and being hosted by many of you that have said, yeah, Charlie, I'd love to have you there. And now we've got tonight on the call, so you guys can hear the follow-up to the general's call from last Tuesday, where Scott Kearns and Natalia took bottom-line responsibility to have Casey Council on the ground with them for 5 days in Toronto, okay? And that's a heavy load, and I know many of you heard them on the general's call. I want to hear the back end of that story here tonight and what's actually happened at the tail end of this trip. So many of you said, yeah, Charlie, we'd love to have you, and really want you guys to know what that means, because wherever I am, and this is something I look forward to each and every single one of you having this posture, and I know many of you already do, that wherever you are, your team's business is growing. Wherever you are, people are making more money. Wherever you are, people's dreams are coming true. And that is what I know about myself, is that if you're hosting me, I guarantee you your business is growing. You're hosting me, I guarantee you that you are personally growing because you're taking the responsibility. You've stressed yourself out. You're maximizing whatever's going on. Your bottom line for filling my schedule and to make sure that it's the most productive trip that I've ever had. Now, when I was a wakeboarder, I had people host me in the same way. Nick Weinecker, same thing. Right? He and his wife, Sonia. That when I came to town, people had to produce. Otherwise, I was never coming back. Those retailers I was coming to visit, they had to put people in the boat. They had to put people in the boat so that I could actually help them create sales. If there was no one in the boat, no one was going to buy product. But if they filled the boat, I was going to sell everything that they had of the companies that I represented. And they knew that. So they knew when Charlie came to town, they made more money. My companies knew if I went out there, I was going to sell through what the companies had, and those retailers were going to order more product. Okay? So we know your business is going to grow by coming in there. And that's what I'm excited, because I want you guys to hit your goals. I want you to hit your targets. I want you to be on that success trip with us, right? And it's going to require you doing more than you probably have ever done, right? And me too. I've never done 11 cities in 3 months. So I'm going to be on the ground for one-on-ones. I'm going to be there for an evening presentation, a luncheon presentation and training, and we're going to maximize the day. So one person will be taking responsibility for my schedule so that everyone can go to them and fill that schedule. One-on-one means every hour in the same location, right, so we can maximize time. And I promise you guys, what you guys do between now and then will be building the fire for when I'm in town, and we're just going to throw kerosene on it. We're going to throw just massive amounts of gasoline on it, and just your volume is going to go up. People are going to come in the business. Okay, so chase the calendar. Who do you know in those cities, okay? If I'm going to one of the cities, you got a team. You guys, if you've got downline that I'm going there to work with, I'm going to tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean you go, oh, hey, Charlie's taking care of it. That doesn't work. What it means is that you guys are cranking with your team before I come in there. Because the more people that are at those events and the more variety of people that are booking time with me, the more it'll impact your business. So I'm challenging all of you guys to step up your action in a big way. I'm spending my own money. I'm taking myself away from my wife, away from the comfort of my own bed, and I'm coming out there to work with you guys for your business, right? So I absolutely know what the return will be for everyone on this call. So, okay. Let's see, we got about 12 minutes left, so I'm going to go into some more information before we bring Scott and Natalia on, because I know they're just sitting there. Natalia's probably getting a little bit nervous right now about what I'm going to ask her, which is exciting in itself. Okay, so you guys, convention. Rubies and above, you guys were able to book your convention tickets. I know all of you got two tickets, regardless if you have one of you going or not. You got 2 tickets because convention's going to sell out. All right. Now, all of our rubies and above already know all this information because we've been meeting about it for the last month and just downloading, telling them a strategy. Now, here's the game plan. We're going to go into more of these details in the future, but just know what's being positioned for you guys for the advantage of you to capitalize on massive momentum. Okay, not only from our tours of the Road to ageLOC Gamma Tour, okay, but also what's going to happen in October with LTO, the high you guys are going to be on from you guys getting benefited, not only qualifying for the Success Trip in Hawaii for free, but also the checks going up from LTO, is having an event that you can promote and invite to that people can come out and have an experience at convention, okay? Now, we're going to be doing a Success Summit in conjunction with convention. Tickets are going to go on sale probably right after Leadership Summit, probably maybe Sunday, Monday after Leadership Summit, and we're going to have a 5+ program. So that means that anybody that buys 5 tickets is going to qualify for a special event at our Success Summit at convention. Now, this event is going to be off the hook. Okay, I'm directly involved in the building of this event, and I'm going to tell you that it will be the best event you've experienced from a distributor-run event, which ours, I believe, are always even superior, even better than what we've seen from corporate. So those of you that remember the Success Summits of the past, that's the caliber I would expect you to expect of us, and we're going to deliver, going to have a great attendance from our international teams that you can learn from that have been knocking the top off the ball with System 7 and apply it directly in the business. So you can learn from those who have done it. There's going to be recognition. There's going to be celebration. It's going to be a party, and so it's going to be an event that you absolutely want to attend, and that by you buying your 5+ tickets, okay, then you have the ability to have some of your new people come to that event that will not be able to go to convention. Why? Because convention is going to be sold out. The June 7th, tickets go on sale, okay? So this is basically another LTO that we're going to have, limited seats, that those of you that are less than Ruby and haven't registered, June 7th, you're going to have the ability, I believe it's 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, to register for convention. LTO, whoever gets their tickets first. So once that's done, that's done. The Success Summit we're going to have is going to give you the ability to be able to have an event that you can attend in addition to convention for some of you and your guests, and then some of you that aren't able to go to convention are going to be able to go to this event. Okay, so everyone will have their experience. It's going to be in Provo, the UBCC. It's going to be on New Skin campus Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. It's going to involve Innovation Center tours. Truman Hunt just confirmed today we will be the very first group to be able to have an event there and to have tours of the Innovation Center. Now, in order for you to have a tour part of convention, you have to attend convention, and then you actually have to go down there and go to Provo to do the tour. Well, we're going to have tours for everyone on that Monday, which will be an exciting thing. So just require everybody staying over another day and a half and then getting out and rocking and wrapping up the month to make even that much more. So, all right. So let's bounce up and over for many of you to Toronto. Scotty Kearns, he's a game changer in the business. Absolutely has helped put Toronto back on the map up there, locking arms with the other leaders, and he's given a reason for us to go up there and do the business. Now, I've probably made 4 or 5 trips myself up to Toronto to work with Scotty and his team. And now Casey has gone up there for her second time. Brett Guide has been up there. Looking forward to Patrick going up there and working with Scotty as well. And, it is an incredible place to go and work when you have somebody that fills the schedule like Scotty has so successfully done. And many of you have heard me say this about Scotty. Scotty is a good investment to go work the business with. Why? Because I know my time will be used effectively. My last trip there, Scotty, get a lot of background noise there with whatever you're doing, bud. Scotty filled my schedule with Natalia 10 meetings for 10 hours, right, in a single day. I said, Scotty, you got one day of me. I'm going to be up there with my wife, 10 hours of meetings. And that excites me. So, Scotty, if you wouldn't mind coming on, many of these guys heard the General's call last Tuesday when you talked about duplication and what you guys are doing. And if you would, just set it up on what you had scheduled. And then if you also would, tell us what's happened, because I've been getting text messages from Casey Council. Her feet are on fire. Her hair's on fire. And she, as your upline, is pumped by what's been happening. So share with everybody. And quick, just 30 seconds, give your background here.
Yeah, you bet. Good evening, everyone. Scotty Kearns, Diamond Executive in Toronto. And, yeah, we are absolutely on fire here. My background was 20 years in the hospitality industry as an owner and operator. And, why I got involved with Nu Skin is strictly really simply about lifestyle and family. And the best part of it, I'm just going to tell you, has just been the last 5 days working here with Casey Council. It's been exceptional, Charlie. I have never had a month end. And just to give you some flat-out numbers, we hit what is currently now our 44th presentation one-on-one over the course of 4 days. And then we had a 5th day, Saturday, fast start training. Feedback from everyone, leaders, upline, downline, crossline, that it was the best fast start training in the last 3 years we've had in Toronto. And that really came not just as a result of Casey and, the other leaders being in front of the room, but energetically that room was, just lit up. And it was really because everyone feels, just the momentum of the event. And certainly I know that everyone came with excitement. So energetically aligned. Going back to last, the General's call on Tuesday, Charlie, I'll tell you, we were excited to have Casey come in here and, set up a program. And, yes, when you first came to town, I was really nervous, and really my fear of failure, as I talked to Karen Rose tonight, and she shared that fear of failure was kind of how I felt the first time. And, what we had was the last time you were in town, it was April. It was a Monday in April. It was Easter weekend. It was a holiday in Canada. And I thought, well, we can't get anyone in front of Charlie, and immediately changed my thought process to who can we help. And, in conjunction with Natalia and Adam Beitenheis and Marcy here, we filled your day. We actually had to cut off one of the people, didn't get an opportunity to meet with you as a result of we ran out of time. And so what we did is we blocked off 5 days here with Casey. I had an online real-time schedule and really just assigned certain time blocks based on what people wanted and what they were committed to. We sold out. There were people that did not have an opportunity to meet with Casey as a result of really her time being maximized and utilized. And that started Thursday morning. I picked her up at 6:30 a.m. as she came in on a red-eye flight out of L.A., just immediately told me she was committed to using all of her time. She got about 4 hours sleep, and on a West Coast time schedule, we put her right to work, right out of the gates, put her into a shower, got her showered up, put her into her first meeting. And as I said, we created 44 one-on-one appointments over the course of the last 5 days. And she sits in one, and I'm going to pick her up. We'll do some recap. I'll take her to the airport tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m., and it's been an absolute joy to host Casey, the conductor of transformation, evident in what she's doing, the tools she's using, really the simple use of the tools in the system, Charlie, and really getting people what they want. And it's been exceptional for us as a learning experience. Energy-wise, I would say Toronto is at a new level. We are really stoked to have you back here, and I know immediately that we hammered out 4 days with Casey, so I'm going to see if I can roll you into an extra day. I know your wife gave you 3, but maybe that's going to take some more enrolling so we can get you in town more often. So looking forward to having you here, Charlie, and we've already got Casey on the map for an invite to be back a couple times this year. So that's really what's happened here in Toronto. I'll tell you,
awesome.
Just very simply, the value that can be created by anyone, whether you're new in the business today or whether you've been in it for 5 years like me, you will create exceptional value for you and the people that matter most. So 8s, 9s, and 10s in front of Casey, and, man, everything worked here.
So, again, let's recap that. Now, 44 meetings in 6 days, and for those of you that have, been to our events before, and those of you who have not, the events are time off, okay, you guys? That's the break. That's an art of recruiting and promotion. These guys have done the work. They set the meetings. They scheduled. There was a team of people that came together to put that together and to book that time, right? It wasn't just Scotty. It wasn't just Natalia. It was a team of people. Now, in those events, they're learning. When they went to the workshop on Saturday, the Fast Training Workshop, that was when they took the time off. Scotty, if you wouldn't mind mute, man, we're getting a lot of bad feedback from your phone. Awesome. So, Scotty, if you would come back on, and just have one question really quick. How many people were involved in booking out that schedule of 5-6 days and 44 meetings? How many people? How many of your team was involved in taking responsibility?
Well, I offered it up, Charlie, to everyone in Toronto. There were six people, including Julie Green, Al Green, and just giving shout-outs to Kath Butler, Natalia Juarez, crazy on fire, like Fuego, Adam and Marcy Beitenheis, and Karen Rose. Those were the leaders in Toronto that made this happen. And like you, Charlie, being a reflection, I would say of me is that I had 8 of my own personal prospects in front of Casey. So, as leaders, we know that everyone will do what we do or less. And so that really was the cumulative effect of 7 of us collectively putting our efforts into maximizing Casey's time.
Oh, my gosh. I love that, man. Your team. I love hearing your team's name, Scotty. Thank you so much for doing that. So I know we're going to go just a few minutes over because if you'll go ahead and mute Scotty, I'm going to bounce over to Natalia. And Natalia, in Fuego, from what we're hearing, if you would come on and just give briefly your story and just share post generals call last Tuesday after we heard you on there. Just describe with your own words what the past few days has been like, having your upline there and having been a part of that schedule and putting your people in front of her.
Okay. So I'm a teacher and a tango dancer here in Toronto. The last few days have just been incredible. For about 3 weeks, I was working really hard with the focus of Casey coming, and my goal was to have a dozen appointments, up to between 12 to 15, and I hit 12. And yeah, it was just, the meetings themselves were incredible. Casey knew just what tools to use with each person, and really left every meeting so much better. And as a result, my relationships are all better, and it's a reflection on the business and the people that I'm working with. So that's all been incredible. And personally, just having the opportunity to spend time with Casey in my home has, I feel just so much closer to my team and my upline, and yeah, just having that space. So it's been wonderful.
So, okay, Natalia, now we heard Scotty say he had 8 of his personal prospects out of that 44. You just said you had 12, right?
Natalia,
okay.
You're making me look bad.
Now, that is awesome, okay, and I know you worked your tail off. And so,
yeah.
Why don't you share it? I'm just guessing, just might have been a chance that you might have learned something by watching Casey Council in action over those 12 meetings. You mind sharing anything that you would take away from those experiences?
Casey was really calm and just spoke from a knowing place, and just the way she managed her energy was incredible. And all I'll say about, creating those 12 appointments is that I don't consider myself necessarily a competitive person, but just for myself, it becomes a bit of a game of how many people can I put in front of any of you guys. Yeah, it was fun.
Very, very cool. Now, I've been on the road with Casey since almost day one. I mean, Patrick Baum was instrumental in bringing her in, got her to Team University. I meet her at a kickoff, go out there. She picks me up from the airport. She almost kills me running a red light. I was in fear of my life. And so being on the ground with her, even her first few months of the business and watching her grow, many of you hearing how calm she is and collected. Now, this is a woman that definitely comes out the way, but I know what was going through her mind. And knowing her today, 5 years, and after starting the business and working consistently, being a diamond for 4 of those years, and she's gone through the learning curve, and she's taking on new pieces of the business to learn, and that's really something I really want everyone to understand, that you guys are going to go through the learning curve just like the rest of us. Your team is going to see transformation in you. They're going to learn from you, and you're going to learn from doing, just like we heard from Gary DeRitter this morning. So, Natalia, I want to applaud you. I want to applaud Scotty, and I look forward to being up there in Toronto with you guys. You're awesome. Your team is extraordinary for what they've done, a wonderful story, and a great thing to duplicate. Now, the next step is, where in the world is your business going, right? Who knows? But we know those individuals in those meetings know people all over the world, and there's going to come a point where you guys say, you know what? I'm going to go out and learn those things like Casey brought to us and go out and work with my team out there in the distance. And what I challenge you guys to look at is, where do you have 5 people in the business? And that's a place where there's a fire building, and you go out there and you jump in there and work with your team and lock arms. So, Natalia, anything else to say as I wrap this up?
No, not at all. Now I just have to start preparing for you to come.
Well, now you're in the post-event, right? Casey's wrapping up one of her last meetings to fly out tomorrow morning. You guys did the work in the pre-event, which was your responsibility. The events themselves, Casey's been doing the work, and you're taking notes and you're learning, and now she leaves, and now you guys are in the follow-up and the post-event of her leaving. But that's right back in at the same time of the pre-event of the next stuff that you're promoting. So great acknowledgement of that. So, Natalia, we're going to see you and be able to applaud you in person at Leadership Summit next week, or actually in 2 weeks. No, it is next week. Yeah. And so, Natalia, great job. And you guys, if you want me to just mute, I'm going to wrap up this call. So, for everyone, we've got Leadership Summit going on next week. If any of you have extra tickets, I want to ask you to please text message me, directly. Text me and let me know you have tickets. We have people that are looking for them, whether they're $99 tickets or the $69 tickets. Let me know. We'll take them off your hands because we have people that want them, okay? With that being said, we're going to have our group together there Thursday afternoon, party on the rooftop. Welcome parties. It'll be great. Friday, Saturday, and then we'll be off to the races and back to make June the greatest June we've ever had in the business. Happy June, everyone. Make sure that you're online to register for convention June 7th. Make sure you get that information if you haven't got an email from the company, and contact your account manager and get clear on how many presentations you're committed to qualify for the Success Trip. Hawaii for free. We're going there together. Let's lock arms and get ready for the road to ageLOC Gamma Tour. You guys, I'm going to take the call off, and please let us know who you are and where you're calling from. And Scotty, if you would, please mute your line. It is really loud. Thanks, buddy. Okay, we're going to unmute. Let us know who you are and where you're calling in from. Great job, Scotty and Natalia.
ageLOC Penny, Minneapolis.
Sam Orlando.
Kelly from California.
Karen,
Carrie
Washington.
from Dallas.